What is going on YouTube? Welcome to Friday Night Jackpot with your boy Tyrone. I'm here with a special guest, Michael. I cannot think of the name of your podcast, but he covers the Indiana Hoosiers. The 7:30 game tomorrow night on ABC. They're a part of my. I think they'll be my upset. I think they'll get my upset, and the betting wise, I want them to be the upset.
Yeah.
So for you guys, just tell me about your team. What you guys aren't that bad. You should have beat Cincy. Which I still think that was one of the best games of college football this year. I still think it was very high scoring, fast paced. But for you, you cover you guys. So how's this season been for you?
It's been weird. So 2-2, two losses against two top 10 teams. So Iowa, I was at that game in Iowa, and man, that just the atmosphere, the first time fans being back, I think that really caught the majority of the team off guard. Like our offensive linemen never false start ever. I mean, we've played we play in the Horseshoe at Ohio State. We've played at Penn State multiple times, and just to have the fans back in that place was nuts. So that was weird to see. And then our quarterback, Michael Penix, who came into the season, I guess, kind of favorite to win, probably Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, at least Big Ten Quarterback of the Year. Coming off of his third knee surgery too, and second time he's torn his ACL. So he's been a little bit messed up as far as mentally goes, and as far as like getting reps. So with it being the fifth game into the season, he looked a lot sharper last week. Granted, against a much,
Yeah.
maligned defense at Western Kentucky, but he looked sharp for 3 of 4 quarters against a really good defense against Cincinnati too. So that's where we sit now. Our defense is solid, and then the numbers don't show it as far as points per game goes, but that's from offensive turnovers and poor special teams and stuff like that. So that's where we sit now. So I think we're okay. It's just we need to get Penix back full on swing, and then we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think for when you like you said for Cincy, the first 3 quarters were strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching that game live. I think you guys were on. I think Oklahoma. I can't think the exact who was all on that day, but I was like that Indiana game was special because everybody loves to hype up Cincy, and it's just like, man, you can't do that. I got like we were saying before the show. I'm like Cincy has to play real competition in a manner where I think they're at Notre Dame, aren't they? I don't think
They're at Notre Dame. Yeah.
Yeah, like that game is a telltale game for them. Like if they don't win that game, I'm not gonna be surprised. I will tell you that now. Because my thing is you know that you try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like they did to Georgia last year, but then you think about what Georgia went through, like not caring. We really like if you go back like to that game last year, it wasn't a big game for us.
Yeah.
We played. I think it was the Chick-fil-A Bowl. So I mean, it wasn't like Georgia was playing their top. It was JC Daniels' first real bowl game. So mind you, they went undefeated last year, which still you can give them credit for it. I think they played like they went 11-1 because they lost to Georgia. So I mean, but the thing about it is like you're not gonna get real recognition from the committee till if they beat Notre Dame, they might start getting recognition. But being in Conference USA Conference USA, I think
American
American, that doesn't help them.
Yeah, so their schedule last year, I mean, you of all people being a Georgia guy, so you know a tough schedule. They played their toughest games were Army, SMU, Tulsa. That's it.
Let's think about that. Georgia would probably beat those teams
all of them
by 20. Like it's not like that's not no disrespect to those teams, but we've seen what Georgia did this year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the defense, even the defense last year was still good. It just doesn't seem as dominant as this year, of course. But bro, it's like you gotta go like they have to go Big 12. Like I think that's the only way they're gonna get recognition. They have to go Big 12. And even still, if they go Big 12, I don't even think they still have I don't think they have the wherewithal in the Big 12. I know that sounds weird to me,
tough.
But I still like, even though the Big 12 isn't, the most defensive schools, I still don't think they'll have the same firepower because their quarterback, I think he's on the verge of leaving.
Ritter's done. Yeah, he'll go. Yeah, he'll go this year.
So the thing about it is like you want to give him the ben like I said, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but man, it's gonna be hard. But getting back to the Hoosiers, and you played Penn State. They beat Auburn, which I love. That was a good win for me because I needed them to beat Auburn. Cause just to shut Auburn up. But you guys have a way of getting really close in games, and I don't know. You think you guys if you guys go up, let's say you guys go up by like 10 in the fourth, you think you guys are gonna be able to hold on?
So as far as like if we can get a lead and maintain a lead throughout a game, if I have to rely, if I have to put any sort of trust in any part of our team, it's on defense. Again, if you look at like last week, we struggled. Western Kentucky. Nobody in the entire country runs the offense that Western Kentucky runs, and we're talking about Houston Baptist type offense, where that coordinator came there, brought his quarterback with him, 1 year, one and done for them. And this dude got rid of the ball in like 2 seconds every time. Boom, out of his hands. So no time to get pressure. Our corners were doing everything they could do. Our All-American corner, Tyrone Mullen, was perfect that game. No catches allowed, but they didn't throw the ball down the field. So the defense you can trust. If you look at the last 3 games we've played them, last year, everybody, if you remember the game last year, was the big game, the first game of the year, the stretch, the pylon, whatever you want to call it, where Michael Penix had to reach out in overtime going for 2 and we won. But the last time we played them in 19, we lost by 7. That's at Penn State. I don't know. I don't like to make excuses on missed penalties or anything like that, but there was a fumble that was reviewed for targeting, wasn't called targeting, fumble, boom, they get the ball back. And that was about it. And then the year before that, 5-point game at home. So we play them close, really, traditionally. They hold a pretty big lead against us, 22-2 overall. I mean, traditionally, IU's not been good at football. It's really just been 2011 was kind of where it started to turn, where we started to focus more. You put a little bit more money into the stadium, amenities, all that other stuff, and then recruiting started to come around, and now the players and the team are starting to show on the field. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, 10 points in the fourth, I'd feel okay. I never feel safe with us. I mean, unless we're playing Idaho like this year, I'd be okay, but not all the way safe yet. No, I'm not shutting the TV off and going to bed.
This is a stripe out game for them. I guess because it's supposed to be a revenge game. They'll come up with excuses to just dress up. But for you guys, I think like Penn State they beat Auburn. I was gonna have my Penn State guy come on tonight. He couldn't make it. This is his birthday. Happy birthday! If he's watching, happy birthday. I don't know, man. Penn State is they beat Auburn. They're number 4. They're number 4 or number 5.
Number 4.
Yeah, they're number 4. And it's so weird because last week everybody was like, man, I don't think Oklahoma can still be top, in the top. And I said, no, they can't. Oklahoma can. No, I thought Iowa State was going to get 4. I was off by 1 because I knew it was going to be Iowa State and Penn State to fight for it. And I was really hype about it. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. But my thing is, like, okay, they're 4-0. Look at the top 3 teams: Alabama, Georgia, and Oregon. Oregon, big win. They went to the horseshoe and won. Georgia has been beating everybody. Hasn't allowed. Still, our starters still haven't allowed a touchdown.
That's crazy.
Like the only touchdown we've allowed was versus South Carolina, and we had like our 3rd string in. And then Alabama, who's really and truly, I like Georgia at 2. I don't want Georgia to jump to 1 at any time this season because we usually have the worst of luck at being at 1. And every time we get to 1, we got to 1 versus Auburn, and we lose to Auburn by like 20. So like I don't want that at all. So I would, and mind you, then Auburn goes to beat Alabama. So that was just the year for Auburn. Then they lose an SEC championship, which is hilarious. But for us, I really and truly, Georgia has shown you something that I think anybody has seen in college. It's like something Alabama would do, but Alabama was still giving up touchdowns. Like Alabama would still give you a deep shot. Georgia
Yep.
hasn't given up one deep shot. We played Clemson. Everybody was like, well, now it doesn't look a quality win, but mind you, Clemson came in at number 2. They came in ranked higher than Georgia. Georgia was number 5 that game. We weren't even top 10. We weren't even top 4. So, the betting lines, Clemson was the favorite. And now, now it looks like a horrible win on your record because they 2-2 almost lost. They almost lost to Georgia Tech. Then they lose to NC State. But my thing is, you still have to respect Clemson is still not a bad team. And that defense did not give up a touchdown.
Yeah. The defense is good, but that offense is not
Bro,
the
it's gotten
same
so much.
anymore, man.
We ever since everybody was like, well, week 1, you guys didn't look good. And then he's like, well, I said my thing is Darnell Washington is back this week. First off, I'm the happiest I could be. Tyke Smith from West Virginia, you probably the safety, he's back this week. And George Pickens might come back this week. It might not this week, but in a couple weeks. And that's wide receiver number 1. Like, the offense is back. And then you see Brock Bowers, who might be literally the best tight end in college football right now. Like, he's got a rushing touchdown last week and in the first quarter versus Vanderbilt. So this team wasn't healthy versus Clemson. We get down the line, and now everybody's looking at the offense like, God, it's just crazy. Like JT Daniels didn't even play a game. What game didn't he play? Was it UAB? And we still put up, and Stetson Bennett puts up 5 touchdowns, like Madden numbers. So like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be this season is for Georgia is gonna be real fun. For you guys, what is your expectation? Bowl game?
So,
I know you're probably not thinking New Year's 6.
No, so not now. I mean, if it's hard, this is kind of totally different than the way that I am on our podcast. It's the LEO podcast, by the way, if you want to check us out, on Spotify and Apple. So we're 2-2. We've got Penn State on the schedule still. Got to go to Michigan. We have Michigan State on there. I don't know. We'll see. I think they're overrated.
I think.
And then Ohio. What did I say? Ohio State at home already? But Ohio State.
Oh, you have Ohio State at home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So that game's sold out already. I know it's not a big deal for you being a Georgia fan, but it doesn't happen a ton at IU. So that was cool to see. But yeah, I mean, as far as expectation goes, at this point, 7 wins probably is what we're looking at. 7 and 8 would kind of be nice. But
I think that's a good season.
Yeah.
Meaning that you guys lost to Iowa and you lost that Cincy game was 24-38. And mind you, you guys had to lead. Remember, I think it was it 20?
So it was 14-0. Where did you go, Tyrone?
My bad.
There you go, Bob. Yeah, so that game was crazy, right? So that game was 14-0. Yeah. And then it was a 3rd and 10, and we lose our best player on defense for a targeting call where he wasn't even involved in the play. So he was pushed into the quarterback as he's being hit from behind from Auburn transfer. Gerard Handy, he hits him from behind. So he's going forward. McFadden gets pushed from behind by an offensive lineman. He gets kicked out. From there on out, they scored 38 unanswered, but not 38 unanswered, but 38 points from there on out.
Yeah.
McFadden's a huge player for us. If he's not on the field, that's massive.
It's kind of the same thing with Auburn. My cousin goes to Auburn. Smoke. So Georgia played Auburn last year. Every Auburn fan has told me this. Smoke gets a targeting call. And then Georgia goes on the big, just blows out Auburn.
I remember this game, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, when Smoke got the target, and mind you, I was mad, but I was happy at the same time. Everything I see with Auburn and Georgia, I don't choose sides, but I love seeing Georgia win. So, but he got the targeting call, and I think everybody knew the game was over with at that point because he was the leader of the defense. It's the same thing with your guy. That's the leader. When your best player's out, it's just your defense doesn't have the same communication and stuff like that.
Yeah, he came out the next week and had 8 tackles in the first quarter.
Yeah,
he was nuts. And then Penix threw 6 interceptions total in the Iowa game and the Cincinnati game. And he's just when he's off, it's all a mental thing for him. And last week he finally looked like his normal self, zipping the ball around. He has a tendency to not throw the ball away is the problem. So that's a perfect example. If anybody goes back and like watches any of the highlights from the Iowa game, he's chased to his left, which is his strong side, being left side quarterback, and he doesn't throw the ball away. He just tries to loft it over something. Dude picks it off, and it was a wrap at that point anyway. But
Yeah.
the turnovers have killed us, and we pride ourselves on taking the ball away, and I think we're sitting like -5 right now as far as the ratio goes. So not good on that side.
You guys, yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like when I saw Georgia's point differential this week was 36.2. I was like, how? Like like that doesn't feel right. When you read that, you're just reading like 36.2.
62
Like,
points last week, right?
yeah, yeah. And we did 35 in the our first 5 drives of the game were a touchdown. So like it like and then JT doesn't play the rest of the game, and Stenson comes in the second half and still scores 2. I think Carson Beck came in, scored another one. So like
Well, me and you could score against Vanderbilt, I think.
yeah, bro, Vanderbilt is god awful, and that's the game where we kind of sort of don't really and Vanderbilt got that because I don't know if you remember last year they canceled on us like 3 times. They were
I don't
supposed to come
remember that,
home
no.
they were supposed to come home for our senior game. And they kept canceling, talking about they don't have that many players. They don't have that many players. And so basically, they just caught what the seniors was going to give them anyway. But, we're going to get this is Jackpot. This is Jackpot Friday. So we're going to go into you are a 12 and a half point underdog at Penn State. And the total over under is 53 and a half. So for you, I think you take the under. What do you think?
Yeah. I was gonna say, so if personally, if everybody wants to know, I took IU plus 12.5 and the under. So
I think I would have too.
Yeah.
I think
no, go
you
ahead.
can go ahead.
Okay, yeah, just real quick on Penn State. So they won 16-10 against an anemic offense in Wisconsin who can't move the ball, running the football right now. They can't throw the football, as we saw against Notre Dame last week. They beat a really bad Ball State team at home. They beat Auburn. Again, Auburn, not a throwing team. Bo Nix, not a throwing quarterback, first at least. They ran a decent amount. They got over 100 yards on the ground, but that was it. And then they just beat Villanova. They were 30-point favorites there. They won by 21. So am I saying they're bad? No. Are they 4th in the country? Like what you hinted at earlier? No. There's no way.
Iowa's 4th in my eyes. I don't even know how
Iowa's good, dude. Iowa's defense is really good, but their
I
offense
don't know
is
how
horrible.
really and truly they got 4. I think when they beat Auburn, that got them 4. But it's Auburn. Auburn has a whole new head coaching staff. Like, I'm scared to see what Georgia does to Auburn in the next, when we play them. But the money line, you guys are plus 360.
Yeah, that's a fat money line.
Jesus, like I saw that and was like, yeah, that might be what you want to go with.
Yeah.
If you win,
I feel good about the offense coming in this week. I can tell you that much. Without having watched a whole lot of Penn State, I watched a little bit of the Auburn game, a little bit of the Wisconsin game. I can't tell you throw it on. I can't tell you throw it on. I can tell you bet the spread, bet the plus 12.5. That's the safest bet. But the plus 360 is fat. If you want to throw something down on that, I'd feel decent about it, but not 100% comfortable.
I mean, yeah, if you put 100 on, you win 460. Like that's you won 400. You're gaining $360. You gotta go. I think you go with the under though. I think so. Mine is the Indiana. I give you the spread. I take the under. Like I said, the money. I want to give you the plus 360 because I want the money line, but it's kind of sort of like nah. I don't see. There's alternate. There's alternate betting line. I'm on DraftKings, so if you guys use DraftKings, tell me if you do, if you don't. I mean, Penix has they're the bet on Penix throwing over 221 yards
Yeah,
is I would take
hammer,
that.
hammer it.
I'm
Yeah,
taking that. I don't think there's any. If you don't take that, I don't think you know how good he is. I don't think you know how good Penix is if you don't take
yeah.
that. But yeah, I want to get into the comments a little bit. Is the weird about Vanderbilt for tomorrow is that they play UConn, who's worse than them, and the Huskies head coach retired. Yeah,
Dude, real quick on that game, I saw today somebody bought 4 tickets to go to that game. They paid $4, $1 a ticket to go to
jeez,
that game.
that's like you going. That's like going back to like the '70s and buying tickets for games. Like, bro, not even the '70s, like the '50s. Like, God,
You're
Lee.
gonna pay more to park. You're gonna pay more to get a drink. Like that's
You might not
nuts,
even
dude.
pay more than they might as well just get everything for free
Just
at
for
that point.
free. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
you're paying $1 for a ticket. I think I saw somebody had one for like $4, and I was like, bro, what?
Yeah,
How?
it's nuts,
Like, I
man.
don't think anybody's gonna go watch that game. Which is my thing is why is Vanderbilt playing UConn? Like, that's just a random game to put
You
on
got
the
to get a
schedule.
W somewhere, I guess, or
I
try.
mean, the coach. I mean, that coach is new at Vanderbilt too. I think he's going to build a program. That's his alma mater. I think he'll build a program there. But my thing is, bro, it's going to take you a long time in the SEC. It takes you so long to build a program if you don't already have good players. Like Georgia's always been a dominant team. Georgia's always been either one or two in the East. And then it was weird. Like when I was talking this about with one of our other guys, Urban Meyer left as soon as Tebow left. Like Tebow left in '09. He left in 2010, and from 2010 on, Georgia's kind of sort of had a good run in the SEC East. And it's like they've gone from like multiple coaches to everything. So it's kind of sort of it's just Florida has really been a different type. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't trust Florida. Everybody wants to get after the Alabama game. Oh my God, Florida's
They
going to
were
be so
close.
good. You
Yeah,
playing a freshman quarterback. Like I just
they need it. They need it. ESPN needs them to be good. The college football needs Florida to be good, so they're gonna try to push that narrative as much as they can. Same thing is once LSU gets back, probably next year. I mean, they'll be pushing LSU the same way. Same
yeah,
thing.
they
Look at what
definitely.
they're doing to Arkansas. Arkansas, they're kind of scary.
I want to go. I'm gonna go into. I guess that is the 12 o'clock game. So I will go into Georgia and Arkansas. Why in the world? First, I'm gonna give my Georgia spiel. Georgia has the best defense in college football, an offense that is actually healthy. Like I just said, our defense is number one. Why in the world you barely beat Texas A&M, and everybody's talking about, oh man, they beat Texas A&M. They barely beat Texas A&M, and you put them at number 8. Mind
The
you,
rankings are weird.
Ole Miss is 3-0. Uh, BYU's 4-0, and BYU has good wins. You drop A&M to 15. But my thing is, if you're like my thing is if you're a bet, not even a better on this game. If you're just a fan of football, I think Arkansas really didn't have quality wins. They beat a Texas team with Steve Stark. Is Stark their coach? Yeah.
Yeah, Sark. Yeah,
Yeah, you have Stark as your head coach. Who he still is trying to. He has to build a whole new program, and then you beat A&M, who didn't even have their quarterback. So you had Zach Calzada out there, and he looked horrible. So my thing is, why the hype is just ridiculous, and they really believe they're like one of the best teams in the SEC. Like they're delusion. This is crazy to me. They're like, well, you look at last year, we played Georgia tough. That's not the same Georgia. That was the first week of the season after a COVID season. So after COVID, we didn't even really have spring or fall. After we think we didn't have spring camp. We barely had we didn't have summer, and we barely had a fall, and then we went into Arkansas. So yeah, you're not gonna come into Georgia and think you're gonna upset at 12 o'clock in a red
yeah,
out.
yeah. Their
So
next three are Georgia, at Ole Miss, and Auburn. So
they'll beat Auburn.
You think so?
I don't
Yeah,
know about Ole Miss.
Auburn's at home.
Yeah, they'll be Auburn.
They've got
I think they'll be
Alabama at
Auburn.
towards the end of the year too. So
Yeah, they're gonna get killed. I'm glad they're happy they're 4-0, but they when they lose, but mind you, they lose tomorrow. Georgia, oh well, Georgia they beat a team that really hadn't proved nothing, and it's a lose for Georgia tomorrow. Let's be honest. We lose, you got exposed by Arkansas. You win, well, it's Arkansas.
yeah,
Like it's back. It really is back and forth.
16.5 point spread is what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go into the spread.
That's
Well,
fat.
on
That's fat.
DraftKings, it is 18.
Is it
18 on
18?
DraftKings. Yeah, on
That's fat.
DraftKings right now. And the total is 48.
That's scary. That's scary to me, man. Without watching you guys all the time, that's 18's a lot of points and 48's not very many points.
If
So
we're winning by 18, my thing is if we're I'll go to Sportsbook DraftKings to look at just to see it for it. Well, they're giving me odds that Georgia's are the win the SEC is wow, that's crazy. We're plus 140 to win the SEC, so that means we're probably higher than Alabama. I might want to put money on that. But over on so the spread is plus well, this is on DraftKings. The spread is 17. And then Jesus, the money line for Arkansas is plus 650. It's negative 1,000 for Georgia.
that's the number
Like
8
that,
team in the country plus 650.
yeah.
That's nuts.
And then the over under is 48 and a half. So if
Yeah.
we're 48 and a half and it's a 17 money line. That game, I'll give you this jackpot pick. Georgia, take the Pareto, Georgia, take the over. And then you're not winning any money on the over on the money line on Georgia. So if you bet on you gotta have to bet more to really win any money. So I wouldn't even take that. There is no betting line. There is no betting line where Georgia. I'm looking. I don't think there's a betting line where Georgia is. Oh yes, there is one. Georgia's plus 105 in one of them. I don't. Yeah, there's literally no. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, it's hard. It's gonna be hard for them. And then passing yards, they have the only bet is on KJ Jefferson. I think. I don't know why they don't have Georgia passing. I don't know why they don't have JT Daniels on here, but yeah, I mean that's a wild betting line to think it's 18, 17, 18 with an over under basically 49. You got to take the over on that because Georgia's going to light the scoreboard up, and Arkansas. If Arkansas doesn't score, I think Arkansas might get a field goal, right? Georgia, if they get a field goal, I don't think they'll get close to even getting back to the red zone because Kirby Smart's going to chew them out. Like it's weird, like what we've been through this season. Like it's like we bent. Clemson got this close to scoring a touchdown, got in the red zone, didn't even score. UAB just was ugly. That was just the ugliest game ever. South Carolina, disgusting. I mean, that was like the game everybody was like, "Oh, South Carolina." No, got killed. Then Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt just got what they deserved. Like that was just the whole end of that. But then we get into this game right here. I think this is probably gonna be my game of the day. Ole Miss versus Alabama. It's not very likely. I think isn't Lane Kiffin. Yeah, you get Lane Kiffin versus Nick Saban. We know Saban has a good record versus old coaches, but Ole Miss has a squad.
Yeah.
Ole Miss isn't bad. So Ole Miss in the top 25 right now. They are, I think, like
12, I think.
Yeah, they're 12. They're 12 right now. Which I don't even know how Ohio State is hanging on to 11, really and truly. Like you done dropped Oklahoma to 6 and then put them at 11, but this might be game of the. This might be because we know this is going to be the CBS SEC special game. I don't know if you guys get that up there, but every Saturday we have we have the SEC special game on CBS.
Yep, we get it.
the over. So the total is 8. My thing is, how was the total 80 for this game? I had to go. I'm gonna have to go check on the other one. But how was the total 80 on there? But Georgia's only 40, only
because
48.
Ole Miss is non-stop. So when I said nobody plays that same offense that Western Kentucky plays, Ole Miss is about as close as it gets, and we know because we played them in the bowl, Outback Bowl last year.
Oh yeah.
So it's just Matt Corral is like he's getting rid of the ball as quick as he can, and that Lane Kiffin offense is just nuts. And I don't know how many of their top receivers they brought back. I don't think really anybody comes back, but with that offense, you can produce whatever you want. I mean, it's quick screens, quick slants. There's nothing really down. Well, they'll set you up for some stuff down the field, little double moves and stuff like that. And traditionally, Alabama's defense, I mean, for the last 10 years hasn't been great. I mean, really
Alabama.
since that 6-3 game against LSU,
Yeah,
they haven't
that
had
was probably the best game you saw.
that.
That was the
Game
best
was
defensive
nuts,
football
dude.
game I think ever.
Yeah.
But
They have
they haven't
pieces.
been the
They've got a
same.
great players, but their collective defense. I feel like anybody could pick them. Well, pick them apart. But hitting that
Look
deep
at
ball for sure.
Southern Miss scored 14 points on that defense. I don't think Southern Miss would have scored a touchdown versus Georgia.
No.
And mind you, they let Florida. What was the Florida score? Florida scored like 20-something points.
At least 28. Yeah.
Yeah, and to be surprised, I would not be surprised if you see Florida play Georgia. They scored 29. Oh yeah, because they lost. They did the whole 2-point conversion. I would not be surprised if you see Florida not score close to 29 versus Georgia. And I think that's going to be the wild part behind it. Florida plays Kentucky tomorrow. I do think that's going to be a fun game. That's at 6:00. I don't know if I'm going to be really watching that game. I'm probably still going to be watching this Alabama game. So I might watch it. But if they lose, I'm going to laugh. I really will.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that'll be nuts.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. I think, but we'll get into the jackpot part. We'll get into the jackpot. Like we said, that's why I say Iowa's number 4, man. I don't see how if Indiana pulls an upset tomorrow, I think jackpot. You have to come back on Jackpot Fridays because we called it. And like
I will if they do that, dude. I'll come back every Friday, no problem.
Hey
and
man,
whoever just said you feel bad for Maryland, don't feel bad for Maryland, man. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, you know
Tua's brother out there throwing 3 picks.
Brother, man. Yeah. But yeah. So jackpot. Ole Miss is a plus 14 in the spread. The over under is 80, and the money line is plus 500. Ole Miss, which is that's another fat money line. Alabama is minus 720. I'll take. I mean, I want to take Ole Miss so bad. I just Jesus.
Me too.
I want to take Ole Miss, but I just know Alabama will pull something. I guess I'll take the Ole Miss spread. I'll put it like this. I'll take the spread. Don't take my word on it.
Give me the over too.
Yeah, I think you give me the over. I think it's gonna be like a 40-point.
It's gonna be like 100 points probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And then give me I'm not gonna take the money line. I don't think I can. That plus 500 is so nice because it's a $600 payout.
Mm-hmm.
If you bet 100, but I'm just like, I can't take it and lose. Like, it's just, man, I don't want to lose $100 on that game because I just feel like Ole Miss can do it, but I just don't trust them that much to put that much money on it. Really, for you, what you think you're gonna go with?
Man, it's tough because I don't like Ole Miss after last year, but I really don't like Alabama either. So, give me Ole Miss on the spread. Give me the over, but Alabama wins by 10 probably.
I don't think they cover the spread though. I think it'll be like it might come down to a field goal. I remember the year Alabama lost by a field goal to Ole Miss, so it might be something like that. And Saban has a tendency to lose the Ole Miss. I don't know why. A&M as well. He's not gonna lose to A&M this year. Like the West is gonna be fun, But he's probably gonna go through the West. Like I don't
He'll
think
be
that
all
his
right.
hardest game might be tomorrow versus Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think Arkansas is gonna be that type of
Where
team.
do they
But
play LSU? If they play LSU in Death Valley, then maybe. But
it might be. It might be that. I think they do play them in Death Valley this year because I think they played in Alabama last year. Um. Oh no, they're in
they're in
Tuscaloosa.
Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. That's gonna be a ugly game. That's Ed Orgeron. I really feel like Ed Orgeron seat is hot, but it just can't be because they just won national championship,
Yeah.
which is
It's
so
tough.
weird to me. Like I really thought he'd be in the hot seat, but he's not. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, by the end of the season, we don't know. They go if they get any worse. But I just throw out my pick. I throw out my picks for the week real quick. You can do it as well. Arkansas versus Georgia. I got Georgia, of
Georgia,
course. Wisconsin versus Michigan. I'm taking Michigan.
Michigan,
Louisville, Wake Forest.
Wake. Oh man,
I'm
I
taking
can't trust
Louisville.
them.
I'm
Louisville,
taking
yeah.
Louisville. Yeah. Notre Dame at Cincy.
Cincy's 1.5 point favorites, I think. Uh,
That's what? Oh, that's wild. I don't
their
know who.
defense is incredible, but give me Notre Dame at home. Yeah,
Yeah. Houston. Oh yeah, I gotta Mark. I gotta look at Houston. I gotta see what Houston's doing.
Houston's killing. I can't remember who they're playing, but whoever they were playing was a heavy favorite today. Tulsa,
Jesus.
35-3,
Oh
Houston.
my god. Yeah, it's
Oh, not
30.
heavy favorite. Tulsa 3.5 point favorite.
It's 34-7 with this Maryland Iowa game. Like that's bad. That's even worse.
Yep,
Coastal versus Louisiana Monroe. I'm taking Coastal.
Coastal,
Ohio State versus Rutgers.
Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State. Kansas State versus Oklahoma.
Hammer that line, by the way.
Yeah, please do because you're gonna win everything. You're gonna win it all. Like you're not gonna lose any money on that bet.
No.
Oklahoma at Kansas State.
Oklahoma close, man. Close.
I'm taking Kansas State. I had Khalid Duke, their D line, one of their D ends. I went to high school. He's from my alma mater.
There you
So
go.
I'll take Kansas State. Mississippi at Alabama. We just said Alabama. I'm taking Ole Miss, but you said Alabama. Stanford at Oregon.
Oregon.
Well, it's Oregon
yeah.
at Stanford. Oh yeah,
Oregon's
Oregon
at Stanford. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Give me
still taking
Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah. Louisiana Tech at North Carolina State. North Carolina State beat Clemson and got ranked. Jesus, that's crazy.
Man, I mean, North Carolina State should. Yeah. Give me North Carolina State.
They should win this game. It shouldn't be close either. But Louisiana Tech has had some close games. They've had some close games with some good teams. Kentucky at Florida.
Florida.
Florida. No, it's Florida at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I might Kentucky. I want to say
Florida?
Kentucky will slide something out, but I think I still take Florida.
Yeah, I take Florida too.
Mississippi State at Texas A&M. I'm taking A&M. Yeah. Baylor, Oklahoma State. I say Oklahoma State.
I'll take Baylor in that one. I think they're rolling.
I think Jaden's playing tomorrow. My cousin. I have a lot of cousins that play college football.
Hey, there you go. Hey, take your family, man. Take your family.
Hey, Jaden plays Oklahoma State. So I've been picking Oklahoma State all year. They haven't lost. So I'm picking Oklahoma State. Of course, we get to Indiana at Penn State. I'm taking Hoosiers.
I have to. I got to take it. I got to take it.
I think you guys are going to pull an upset, man. It was going to be hilarious. BC at Clemson. I'm taking BC. I know that sounds. I'm taking BC.
BC's rolling. They played them tough last year. I would take Clemson in a bounce back.
I would hope, man. They need it. They need to win this game.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas played TSU. That's another game. I think Texas plays TCU. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Western Kentucky. At Michigan State.
Hilltoppers all day. Take Western Kentucky.
You're gonna take Western Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I think Michigan State's off their run game. I like Mel Tucker too. He's from Georgia. So
Michigan State should have lost last week against a terrible Nebraska team.
What's going on? What's going on, Dark Sage? What is the question? Just ask the question. You just shoot it. We'll answer it real quick. LSU I'm an Auburn at LSU. I'm taking LSU.
You want LSU? I'll take LSU.
Yeah, I'm taking LSU at home. Arizona State, UCLA. I think UCLA wins that game
Yeah,
in the
UCLA.
Coliseum too at night. Yeah, I think they win that game. Then Fresno State at Hawaii. Fresno State is gonna kill Hawaii. Jesus.
Fresno
Uh,
State, IU former offensive coordinator, the head coach from 2 years
oh
ago.
wow. Yeah. So yeah,
So
Hawaii. He's just been disappointing.
tough to go to Hawaii and play, but they should be
Tough.
fine.
I mean, but they're almost close. No, not really. God, Georgia plays Auburn next week. We go straight from Arkansas to Auburn. I just looked at in Kentucky. Georgia got
SEC never stops, man. It's like the Big
like
Ten East. We got
yeah,
a
like
tough
the
schedule
three
too.
games back to back to back. It's just like God, can we? Then we get an off week, and then we play Florida after the bye week. Like the East is kind of sort of crazy. Like it's that the East is one of the West is like SEC in general is crazy because you always are playing like top schools, but
Yeah,
they go Arkansas or it was Arkansas, Kentucky, Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky bye week, then you go play Florida. So
that's nuts. I like to complain about our division with having Michigan, Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State, but that's hard to
but that's
compare.
weird because you feel like I feel like the West would be like the hard, but it's weird. That the Big Ten's really weird.
The Big
I
Ten,
really like,
The West is trash outside of Iowa.
yeah, because it's like that's Wisconsin,
Wisconsin,
Nebraska.
Purdue, Nebraska, Illinois, Northwestern. I'm forgetting somebody
How
else.
are you in? I guess because you are right by. I
We're
was like you.
just yeah.
I was like
Like
you
we
guys
are the
should be
dividing line.
West, but yeah.
Indianapolis, if you split Indianapolis in half, north and south, that's pretty much the division between
Oh
east and
wow!
west. And
So you just felt on the wrong side.
we're just west of that, just a smidge. So I guess you go a little bit left of that, but you know, it's right about splitting Indianapolis right in half, but Bloomington's just a little bit left of that line if you were to do that. But yeah, that's right where it's at.
Yeah, I want to come up there. I want to go to a lot of Big Ten schools. You guys have kind of sort of cool traditions. Same thing with SEC schools, but it's I think college football is the coolest sport.
Me
Like I
too.
follow college football. It's got to be one of the coolest sports of all time. But thank you, Michael. So go ahead and shout yourself out, shout the podcast out, everything you want to do.
Will do, man. Check us out. IU Football Dedicated Podcast. We preview and post game every game. Off season, we have everything, or we have something every week. You can check us out if you want to on Facebook. It's facebook.com/podcast LEO. On Twitter, we're real active during games. Live tweets from our producer the entire time. That's at podcast LEO. So check us out. Follow IU Football and give us a follow.
Yeah. Hey, he's on, and of course he is on Spotify.
Oh yeah, Spotify. Yeah, podcast LEO podcast. We're on Spotify,
LEO.
SoundCloud, and Apple Podcast, and we tweet out all of the links to that every time we put out a podcast, which usually comes out Thursday morning and Monday morning.
Okay. For me, you guys know I will be back on tomorrow after the game, Michael. If you are welcome to come on. Because like you said, you do guys do post game. You are welcome to come back on. But like I said, this is the Georgia. I wouldn't say it's a Georgia podcast. This is Friday Night Jackpot. This will be the betting show for me. Like y'all all know, I talk about the money lines and everything. Because this is I follow the money lines. I play like I don't say I have a gambling addiction, but I do follow a lot of the gambling aspects of the game. The AAC had to look the Sun Belt or Conference. They're gonna have to bring guys out of Conference USA. I think those are the teams. Sun Belt. I'd like the Sun Belt, but it's a little shaky
UAB
sometimes.
might move up. UAB, somebody like that.
I think Valdosta State could probably move up. These are Georgia schools. Kennesaw State can move up. Let me see. I'm an Army fan. I was wondering what this panel thinks about Army football and their possibility of getting into the college football playoffs if we went out. I know for y'all. I feel like you guys are. It's just that offense. I hate that triple option. Every time I see it, it just annoys me.
They're killer, man. Yeah.
I just think if you can't make it, I want to say you guys could make it. Yeah, they play independent, so they got like a lot of. They end the year. I'm mad. He says
Ball State next. They've got Wisconsin. They've got to go to Wisconsin. Wake Forest.
and Wake Forest. So they got, I mean, they got a couple of good, and then they
Liberty's a
always,
tough game. Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
if
they,
they run, it's gonna be it'd be real tough. Really, really
yeah,
tough.
like you'd have to blow out Wisconsin, you had to blow out Wake Forest, but then you play like Air Force and Buck. Like the schedule has to get harder for you guys.
Yeah. New Year's
Um,
Six is possibility, maybe, if Cincinnati falls this week. And then because who else is that? I guess they're not technically a group of 5, are they?
no,
So
they're a IA independent or something like that. So
it'd be tough.
it's
It'd be
it's tough.
win out, and then maybe you'll get a high bowl, if not a New Year's Six bowl.
Yeah,
So
you'll get something either New Year's Six wise or something close to. You'll get one that's the closer to Christmas games. You won't get the ones like in the beginning of December. You'll get one of the nicer ones. So I mean, it's just that I'm a Navy fan, so you have to you guys have beaten us the last 2-3 years. So I think this year it needs to switch this year. Playing up in Philadelphia in the cold, that game was always fun to watch because it's always either snowing or something. Because it's like Army in a playoff spot, they were undefeated. I had when we go to, which I think is going to happen pretty soon because they need to. When we go to the, is it 6? What is it, the
12
FCS?
team
12,
playoff.
yeah, 12. When we go to the 12, I think a lot of those teams are going to get a shot. I think that's the only way these guys going to get a shot if we go to 12. Like, since he's never going to make a top 4 unless the committee just is, on
If they
really
win
on track.
Saturday, and win out, they're gonna have a decent chance.
Yeah, they have it. It's all up to the committee. That's really all it's up to. It's up to the committee. I will be doing committee shows on Tuesday, guys. Whenever the committee goes live, I will be live on here. Hopefully Georgia. I hope they don't put Georgia #1 anytime, but knowing them, they will. They and the committee always does it to us, and every time they put us at 1, we always get the curse. It's a curse at this point. I hate being #1. But other than that, thank you again, Michael, for coming on. Like I said, I will be on tomorrow, guys. Normal time, probably around, well, basically, whatever Michael games in, wherever the Indiana games in, I will be on. Oh, and Michael, if you look at my thumbnail if you guys win, you will be the maroon. I will change it to maroon, and I will put the IU symbol on my little logo. I will put the IU symbol in the middle if you guys
There
win.
you go. There we go.
So if you guys win, you guys are the upset, man. So thank you again. We are going to get out of here. Let me get to my outro. Peace.
Yeah.